Well, hey, in a couple days now, we've got a huge event coming up, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. It's the AVP Champions Cup Series, and there are a few new partnerships being debuted. Not so much for you, but there's some new
Mhm.
partnerships showing up, and you're playing with Sara Hughes. How did you and
Yeah,
Sara end up playing together for this series?
yeah. I'm very excited to be playing with Sarah. And like you said, fairly new, fairly not. We have done a couple of the last tournaments together. And I think that's exactly it. Because this opportunity came up, I was keen to find out if she wanted to continue what we kind of started. And so we got in touch and, had to make some decisions about what to do. Because again, I was in Toronto at the time. And then we decided to finalize it and go for it. I think we had a really great thing going, so we're excited to see where we can take
Well, let's talk more about that great thing here. You
it.
had some really good results together in 2019 playing with Sara, getting two third-place finishes, one at Manhattan Beach and another one in Chicago in
Mhm.
2019.
Yeah.
Given your limited time together, what has been the keys to your team's success?
Uh, Limited is definitely key. No, it's been super great, and I think both of us are putting in a lot of work individually. So coming together with someone that's already so talented and so hardworking is fairly easy for me to make sure that my standard is always just as high as hers. So I think our energy syncs up, our passion for winning and competition and wanting to win these tournaments and not just come third or whatever really drives us to make it work no matter what.
That's great stuff. Hey, but both of you stand at 5'10", and it's obviously not one of the more physical teams on the beach. And you got some 6'4", 6'5s in there.
Yeah.
But you and Sara are extremely athletic. Um, what do you think about the series and the competitive field, the tournament field that's going to be there, and how you and Sara are going to match up against them?
Yeah, I think it's only just this week that I've asked Sarah how tall she was because I actually never knew. And then we were kind of shocked that we are very similar in height. And she's like, I always thought you were like 6'3" or something. But so clearly that's not something that's in the forefront of our minds. We know our abilities and we know how we play our style of game. So we're just making sure that it matches up with each other. And I think it'll be great. We are so prepared to play against some of the best in North America. We've seen these girls before, and I'm sure we're all anxious to, play our best and get back to where we were last year. So I think the competition will be strong. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be exciting. So we're just happy to be a part of it.
Now, were you at all surprised at the results you had in 2019, doing as well as you did in those in Manhattan Beach and Chicago?
Hmm. No, 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 I wouldn't say I was surprised. Like I said, Sarah and I are very competitive and we wanted to take the whole tournament for ourselves. So, not to say that we were disappointed with that result. Of course, we should be proud of anything that we've accomplished at this high level with this competition, but we want it. We want it just as much as everyone else. So, I think we could be contenders even if it meant three practices before.
All right. So, how many trainings and practices have you had with Sara on the beach since coming out here? You said just the beginning of June is when you first arrived back here.
Beginning of July. So we're going to have probably about two and a bit weeks under our belt before playing these events, which honestly feels like an eternity compared to what we've done before. Trying not to think about how wonderful it might have been to have more time or whatever. We're just trying to, work with what we're dealt with and make something happen.
Now, have you been scrimmaging other teams locally during your trainings?
Yeah, we've been getting a couple scrimmages in. We've played with Amanda Dowdy and Zana, and then we had a couple other girls coming in to work with some of our coaches. We also had recently um, Chrissy and Tracy. So it's been good to get some gameplay going. Like we've been working on a lot of pieces separately and just trying to put it together and see how it flows. And this week we'll have a couple more teams and then it's game time.
Excellent. Well, hey, this is Brandie Wilkerson, who will be playing with Sara Hughes in the AVP Champions Cup Series coming up in Long Beach. Be sure to
Yeah.
check out all the streaming, all the TV action that's going to be going on. Should be a fun tournament to watch. Thanks, Brandie, for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We're going to move the rest of our discussion over to the Viral Volley podcast because there's so many things that we've got to ask this incredible personality in the world of beach volleyball, Brandie Wilkerson. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. You're now watching the Viral Volley podcast. We're piggybacking onto the volleyballmag.com interview you had with Brandie, but she was the 2018 FIVB Best Blocker, plays for Volleyball Canada, national team for Canada, and it was an alternate to the 2016 Rio Olympics. And she was quoted as being the most magnetic personality that's quickly grown her fan base. Her infectious vibe is one she hopes the rest of the community will catch as she continues to navigate her career. And that's from Forbes in August 28th of 2019. Thanks for coming on, Brandie.
Thank you so much for having me in that lovely intro. Thank you.
Hey, I just steal words from other people, so I can't take credit for it.
Oh.
Well, we were talking about the upcoming AVP Champions Cup Series, which so many people are excited to watch because of being in this pandemic. We are just desperate for any kind of escape we can get or any semblance of the world that we were living in before COVID. Now, what is it about the AVP Champions Series that has you so interested to play in it?
Oh, there's so much going on. I mean, I'm so excited and proud to be a part of the AVP that is putting something like this on for our athletes. Like you said, we are all feeling it, whether you're a player or not, or just have other hobbies that you want to do. So having this opportunity is so special. And the fact that it's a very elite series, there's going to be some pretty stiff competition, and we're trying to do this as safely as possible. And that's also extremely encouraging for me, especially flying down from Canada to be here and train with everyone. And it's it's been awesome. And I think we just want to play. We just want to, show some love in the volleyball community and feel that back. And I'm excited for it.
Well, take some of our listeners and viewers through the experience you're having to go through in order just to play through this tournament, given obviously the fanless event you're going to be playing in and with coronavirus concerns and so forth.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me and my team personally, we've been very cautious about our social circles. We have to do testing, like mandatory testing with all the players and staff every week, something that is totally supporting. We also, you got to do it. You got to stay clean, sanitize, be weary, stay healthy, do everything you need to do to make sure that you can show up there, be healthy, and then safe for everyone else as well.
Well, it's an exciting event that all of us are looking forward to, and we just wish that Friday was being streamed. We know that some people will be doing Instagram Live, but which is odd because I didn't factor this in. But some of the people who are Instagram living, they want to do private streams because they don't want the other teams to scout them.
Oh, I see. It would have to be like super fair somehow. I get it. Yeah, I know. I'm curious about the Friday as well, but I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Well, you'll be watching, I'm sure, sneaking around the grounds if they'll let you on.
If they'll let me.
Hey, so I was pulling information as doing my research from you, and then I think it's so funny. On the AVP website, it has Brandie Wilkerson was born in Lausanne, Switzerland, with a native Swiss mother. And they refer to your father as from a country called Texan. Did Texas secede from the Union? I'm curious.
Yeah, it's like they're doing their own thing now. Like, are we surprised though? No.
Yeah. But how did your mother meet your father? I mean, it's such a beautiful combination of people coming together.
Beautiful is one word, random is another, but my dad is Texan-born, South boy. He played basketball professionally growing up. and then played in Europe after his American career, and my mom and my family being from Switzerland. So they met there when they were fairly young, and then we kind of lived in the States for a bit, and then Switzerland. So both these are home to me. That's where my family is. That's where, you know, my memories are, and then kind of moved to Canada later on. Yeah.
How did you get into playing volleyball? Because from what I gathered, it hasn't been too long.
Right. Yeah. I'm very much at that awkward stage where it's like, okay, you've been playing for a while, but like not nearly as long as most people. It was kind of a late start for me, for sure. I have to be honest, sports and volleyball was definitely not something I was trying to pursue for a career. I had different interests and other ideas of what my life would be like. But when I started playing varsity in Toronto, freshman year was kind of when I realized I could be good at volleyball, and that was indoor. And then a couple of years later, I found beach through the circle of friends that I had. And I just fell in love with the sport, the intensity, the challenge, the lifestyle. And that's just something that I've been trying to be the best at now.
So you mentioned that was right around 2013 that after watching the 2012 Olympics is when you really dove into beach volleyball. But what
Yeah.
specifically really drew you towards the game?
I think it was the challenge of beach volleyball. It puts you in a very vulnerable position, either mentally, physically. There's a lot of strategy behind it. There's a lot of unique styles. And I think that leaves a lot of room for very smart, independent, hardworking people to thrive. And I think that's kind of the characteristics I look to always have and improve on. So volleyball is just one way of continuously being a better person in general and learning more about myself. And just, it's a beautiful game. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's hot. You're at the beach. Like, you can't complain.
Beach baby, I get it.
I love the sun. I love the sun.
Well, you know, it seems like, you know, I was looking at your indoor career in university, and it looks like, you know, you received so many accolades. It would seem like Volleyball Canada, the indoor side, would be pulling for you as an opposite. You had a great jump. You're a lefty at the right side. I mean, I imagine people were saying, "Hey, Brandie, come on to the indoor game in Canada," right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there were definitely little whispers, little pushes, nudges towards indoor. But I think right at that cusp of making a decision, beach just took over and swept me up. So I didn't pursue an indoor career. I am curious to see how I would have been. I feel like now I'd be terrible, honestly. I feel like I'd be terrible now. I'm too much of a beach person. But I'm still happy with my decision and totally respect the indoor game.
Right, right. Now, was it a difficult decision? Like, if someone were to say, "Hey, come on to play for Canada," versus beach, it'd be a no-brainer for you then to stay on the beach?
I think I would still stay on the beach. Yeah.
All right, I got it. I got it. Hey, let's look at your 2017 season. That year marked an upward trend for you and your partner, Heather Bansley, on the FIVB World Tour with 12 top 5 finishes and 2 first-place finishes in 2019. Do you feel that you and Heather have found your groove?
That is an interesting question. I think we definitely have found a rhythm. We found an identity with our team, and we've really connected deeply. But I think there's still room to grow. I think there's some consistency we're looking for. There's just bigger goals that we have in mind. So we are both students of the game, and we love to learn and love to be challenged. So it's hard to ever feel comfortable where you're at when you keep wanting to push it to the next limit.
You know, I'd met you and Heather for the first time at the P1440 Las Vegas Open.
Yeah.
And seeing you guys play in that stadium court, you guys really had a good rhythm with each other. So, you know, Canada had so many powerhouse teams between Sarah Pavin and Melissa Humana Paredes. And I'm going, we got 2 solid teams already battling in the tops in the world. So I imagine practicing against them has been helpful for upping your play.
Yeah, I mean, we're so proud to have these two amazing women's teams representing Canada and consistently making the top teams in the world. And yeah, they have been like it's extremely inspiring in how much we can put Canada on the map, and also like our greatest competitors. You know, you want to beat the best, and it's nice to have that be in your home country and want the best for each other, but also want to kind of like beat each other. It's friendly competition. That's what sports is about, and it'll make you, you know, an even greater player.
Now, where do you and Heather stand in regards to the Tokyo 2021 Olympic qualification process? Because
Mhm.
with it being off this year, it's kind of thrown things for a loop. And I've been trying to navigate what's going on, reading all the threads, not getting it.
Right, it is confusing, yes. And we've just been trying to focus on what we can control and being prepared for what the next opportunity might look like. As of right now, I believe we are ranked, I think, sixth out of the 15 top 15 teams you need to be. So we were looking to better that ranking, but of course, we're happy with this very comfortable spot right now. Of course, it's the Olympic year. So many things happen, things get crazy, but we're just really ready to fight for our spot.
Now, are there other Canadian teams that are pushing you, that are on your hot on your heels, so to speak? Kind of like in the US, we've got a hot battle for the number 2 spot, the qualification spot.
Mhm,
Is it like that
mhm.
for Canada?
Canada is a little bit of a smaller pool of teams. Right now, I think it is Sara and Mel and Heather and I that are really pushing for a top spot at the games and in qualification in general. I think the US and Canada has their own separate types of obstacles they have to face. And I know how difficult, I know the US and Brazil with such large talent pools, how stressful it would be to try to have to fight so many teams. But we find our own, you know, fire under our heels through every team that we have to play because we don't have a tour that we can practice and get to know each other in, or we just have to show up at FIVB and like, you know, be prepared for that. And that's do or die. And then we move on to the next one. So it's different, but it's good, I think. Yeah.
So you have to end up playing in a lot of 1, 2, 3 stars in order to get
Oh, I
that
haven't
playing experience.
yet. No. It's too much traveling. We're mostly sticking to 4 and 5, but maybe at the end of the year, because some of these 1 and 2 stars have some amazing locations. So I would just be curious to go travel for fun.
Right, right. Um, hey, let's jump to you individually. In 2019, it seems like you and as an athlete had really improved your individual skills and performance with top finishes with Heather on the FIVB tour, and then with Sara and Kelly Clays on the AVP tour. What have you been working on specifically to become the best athlete that you can be?
Um,
If it's shareable, unless it's a secret that you don't want people to know about.
oh no, no secrets here. No, I think it's just been accumulation of a lot of hard work and effort I've put over the years. It's easy to see these athletes and be like, you came out of nowhere, but like there's always a backstory behind it. So I've been lucky to be extremely supported by some amazing coaches and players and different teammates that I've learned from. So I've just tried to be a student. I've tried to work on my mental game and the things I can control. And with being able to switch, you know, playing on the AVP or playing for Canada, um, just being the best partner I could be. I think it doesn't matter who you're standing next to, there are certain responsibilities you have, and just making sure I take ownership of that and to be as encouraging, as supportive as I can be. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what kinds of things have you been doing though, training wise during the pandemic? Like, how have you been staying in mental and physical shape to prepare you for your time back on the court?
Yeah. My time during this pandemic has been more on the side of taking a break from volleyball and just allowing myself to refresh and to step back and to explore other sides. So when it came to training, I've been able to train a little bit differently, try different types of training, ones that weren't really accessible during the season, because at that point you're just trying to like keep things together and move on to the next tournament. So I've been able to also recover my body and be fresh for this. And then I've just played other sports too, and just see what I could learn, new tricks, new skills that are different, and, you know, different mindset when I'm coming back to volleyball.
Like what other sports? Cornhole, darts?
No, I'm probably still terrible at that. Mostly tennis, a lot of tennis. I've always wanted to be a good tennis player, and throwing football around, get my arm swing going, doing a little like one hand volleyball, opposite hand, weird stuff, anything that's a little bit unorthodox.
I would love to see footage of you dunking on someone on a basketball court.
Oh, I got to get on. You know what? My dad and my brother would love to help me with that. They're both basketball guys, so they for sure will help me film that.
Because I know you get up there, and I'd hate to be the victim. I'd hate to get posterized by you.
I'll make sure no one's around.
Except for the surveillance cameras that are around the court. No?
Exactly.
So, hey, I wanted to go back to the 2013-14 Brandie Wilkerson. So I didn't share this with you, but
Okay.
you know, obviously I want to do my research, my background check on you, and I found some good stuff for you. So let's.
I'm so worried.
Let's do this. And
Uh-oh.
you see the image on the screen. It's 4 pictures of Brandie Wilkerson at York University. She's got the Jennifer Beals look going on in picture number 1, but I found this on a blog that you have, which is at brandiewilk.wordpress.com, if you want to check it out for yourself. But look at the pictures here. That's year 1 through year 4. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. How hilarious is this? Who are these people?
I mean, I'm like, wow, that is a great look you got going on there for York University.
Hilarious. You know, I always try and keep things interesting, you know, switch it up. I guess I've been doing that for a long time. You should see all my passport photos. They don't look like each other or me. So that gets a little confusing, I'm sure, at the border.
Well, you know, so you're playing with Sara Hughes for the AVP Champions Cup. And I'm like, gosh, when I see you guys playing together, it's like having 2 suns in the sky. I mean, you guys are both so bright and so infectious and have such great countenances. Are you familiar with the movie Star Wars?
Yes.
So I thought I'd do this little 2 suns setup here with you guys. Because I mean, you guys are so bright playing together. I figured, hey, you've got the Tatooine double sunset going on, and I mean, that would be you guys on the court in my eyes.
I love that. I love that energy. I'm all about it. That's so wonderful. Thank you.
Hey, good stuff. I thought I'd play around with my Photoshop and see what I can get.
So good.
Let's take a break right there, because I have some questions that I didn't prepare Brandie for, which should be some fun. So
okay.
We'll be right back in just a few moments on the Viral Volley podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Viral Volley podcast. With me I have Brandie Wilkerson, who will be playing in the AVP Champions Cup Series as part of Volleyball Canada, and just a phenomenal beach star on the FIVB World Tour with Canadian partner Heather Bansley. Thanks for coming on again.
Thank you.
Hey, so this is the fun segment. This is the off-court Brandie that everyone wants to know about. I happen to, I guess, cyber stalk you, so to speak, or research you. And
I think that's a normal day for most people. Like we're just creeping on it all of
exactly.
each other.
You got to know about your subject in a healthy way. So at a old blog she had, I imagine it was a school assignment, the WordPress one that I referenced earlier. Was that a school assignment?
I honestly don't even know if I made that. That's the thing.
All right, everyone, check it out. brandiewilk.wordpress.com.
I didn't make that. I didn't even know about that.
Well, Hey, Brandie, you should check out your own blog.
You know what? I will subscribe.
Well, what I discovered from there was a YouTube video from back in the York Lion playing days. That was the university that Brandie played with.
Yeah.
I think you received honors 3 of the 4 years you were there, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I think so.
Well, they did a getting to know Brandie Wilkerson.
This one I remember.
And I found out she has 4 particular favorite movie stars: Bradley Cooper, Liam Hemsworth, The Rock, and James Franco. Oh, wait, 5, and Ryan Reynolds.
Wow, that's what I said, eh? That's
So,
funny.
of the 5, would you take Bradley Cooper wetting himself in The Star is Born, Hemsworth in The Avengers with the poked out eye, in Thor Ragnarok, The Rock in Hobbs and Shaw, or James Franco in the, what's that movie, 172 Hours, where he loses the arm?
Oh, that's tough. Like instinctually, I was like, oh, I just feel bad for James. I'll help him. Like that's why I would say him. But no, I'm always going to say The Rock.
The Rock.
No matter where he goes, I'll follow him.
And also, I discovered that you are into indie alternative, if this is a true blog and video interview, like the Black Keys, Motown Jazz, soca, and reggae.
Yeah.
Is that
I mean, I definitely have an eclectic taste of music. I love music. So yes, I still love all of those genres, and I would like add in way more funk music than I could name. So yes, a little bit of everything for sure.
I also discovered that you were very interested in art. What kind of art, and what is your favorite medium?
Yes, art was actually the reason why I wasn't going to play sports. So, yeah, so I went to an art school in high school, and we did all medias and mediums, and I wanted to pursue either art, advertising, or architecture. For me, I love art history. I'm a little bit more on that side, but I also love abstract art with acrylic or photography.
Is that a piece of yours behind you over your shoulder? The way
no, I wish, but that's something I definitely would do. Like that's like this obscure kind of what are we really looking at style. I love that.
And also, I wanted to ask you, obviously you've got a few tattoos, but I wanted to ask you about a particular one, and I personally dig the one that you've got. Proverbs 31. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And that's from Proverbs 31:25. What is the inspiration for having that on that particular area of your body?
Yeah. So when I first came to Canada, we went to church, and that's kind of how we met people. So it's kind of an homage to the community I grew up with, and that taught me a lot about pride, dignity, strength, all of these core values. But I also have it tattooed because no matter what it is I'm wearing or not or whatever, that's something that will always be true to me and in my skin and in my spirit. So, and also if you didn't notice, I love to laugh. So I kind of felt like that is my protection. Joy is my strength to overcome any kind of challenges or circumstances.
Well, it's definitely so fitting because you have such an incredible countenance that radiates that joy, and I think it's so infectious, and people are drawn to it. And that quote from that earlier, that Forbes magazine article that I had mentioned earlier in the podcast, is definitely very fitting for you. So it's definitely a fitting tat and a perfect description of you as the person and the athlete.
Oh, thank you. That means so much.
Well, I wanted to ask you, I believe you have some other artwork. I was trying to locate what it was, but do you have other ink work on the bod?
I do. I have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tattoos. Yes.
It's just one. Man, I opened up a Pandora's box.
I know. Like, wait, where are all these tattoos? Yes. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, the one I'm looking at right now is on my wrist that people frequently keep asking me if I just got because no one notices it. But that's actually a matching tattoo I got with my brother. So that was kind of a fun one. And it says, Que sera, sera, which is French for whatever will be, will be. It was a song that our dad used to sing all the time, and it's true. So,
I think I
yeah.
oh gosh, I forgot the name. Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, you know it. It's an
Connie
old song.
Francis. Connie Francis.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Hey,
it.
Sara, Sara.
Yes.
Yeah, my
Yes.
parents played that for me as well.
Exactly. You know.
Now, do you have a tight relationship with your brother then?
Yes, so I have three younger siblings that I absolutely adore. Like they are my inspiration to play. But my brother, the one we got tattooed, we're the closest in age, and we've grown up very similar. Traveling everywhere. So I'm proud of him. He's currently in Switzerland playing basketball. So he's doing his thing.
Incredible. Hey, I definitely, being in the times that we're in, and being that you are such a great encouragement and have such a great countenance with your fans and with people around you. And I know that there's some of us who are struggling with the times that we're in with this pandemic, from being sheltered in, not being able to see loved ones or even just be with friends. What words of encouragement or advice would you give to those people who are in those times?
I agree. I definitely have to sympathize with people and understand the struggle that these past couple of weeks, months have been. I think the only light of hope that has helped me through some of these harder times is that kind of seeing this as a shift, as a transition into something more beautiful, more stronger, because to grow and to change and to move forward, sometimes it's painful and sometimes it's hard. So I'd like to think that this is just one step forward to something better than we are here right now experiencing. So yeah.
We're going for an upgrade this next season of life.
It's time for everybody to upgrade. We're just doing it all together at the same time.
Hey, Brandie, I cannot thank you enough for taking time today on the Viral Volley podcast and on volleyballmag.com, because everyone's looking forward to seeing you and Sara play, as well as the other pros who are putting it out there and giving us that escape that we need to just enjoy the sport that we love.
Oh, couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for having me. Always such a joy. So easy to talk to you.
Well, I look forward to following up with you during the series if you're open to doing so, just to get some quick, hey, how was it like? That'd be.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know how it's going to be like playing on practicing. Yeah, for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brandie Wilkerson. Be sure to catch her starting week 1 of the AVP Champions Cup Series. I believe this weekend is the Monster Hydro Cup. And then week number 2 goes to the Wilson Cup, and they're still looking for a name for the 3rd cup, all in the Champions Cup Series. And again, we've got the best in North America. I'm not going to say America, North America.
Oh.
Because we've got a couple Canadians, actually 3 of them, if I'm correct. Is there someone in the qualifiers that could make it in that's Canadian? I can't remember off the top of my head, but there are a lot of Canadians that are infiltrating the talent in the volleyball world. Thanks again, Brandie.
Okay, thank you so much.